trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy.
Tequila sunset.
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes, pissable pilsner. Drink it, then convert it to piss. And there's spirits and speed too. Bottoms up, Captain.
Tequila sunset.
Of course. Drink first, story later. Not much, but it will do. This last one is the most Martinet story I've ever heard. I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 expeditions come through, searching for something.
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds, near an abandoned construction yard. The young men look over their shoulders suspiciously. The sound of their digging seems loud in the sudden silence.
Magic animals? No, man, this is serious stuff. No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. Hey! Fuck you, Tequila. All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people.
Wait, there's a tingling back here. The stirring of a faint sensation.
You know, obsessive types. People with predilections. Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. Others don't return at all. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. It was just too high concept, even for me.
There's no way. It can't be. Or can it? You know.
I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be too much for you to handle. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. Our story begins at a legendary design studio, right here in Martinez. There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya, where he did some real pioneering work on grotesque and sans serif typography. A fucking genius, man. That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend, after all.
He existed, all right. You feel it deep within your basal ganglia. He was as real as you are. I'm talking about...
Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass-smooth, forward-looking design language, the kind of thing that would totally overthrow the old regime, design-wise.
A paradigm-shattering revolutionary?
But then something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand. You know Tequila, nose candy, the White Railroad, party powder.
The kids on the streets also call it Snow Day.
Or Elysium gold. For the plateau on which most of the world's supply is grown and harvested, typically by slave labor.
Sinus salt, the White Knight.
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocratic class of the prior century.
Along with a number of more banal street names. Blow, of course, but also flake, powder, pearl. Really, anything that's white will work. He's talking about cocaine.
Shit yeah, Tequila. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that regular amounts of cocaine just weren't cutting it. By the end, they were bringing it in by the lorry load. Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be healthy for a regular human, right?
Right. Wrong. Do it all the time. All day, baby.
Hey, Tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance, an advert so minimal it contained neither text nor images, just pure white. Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine." But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly a quarter kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity.
That's almost certainly anatomically impossible. Wrong again, nerd. Where there's a will, there's a way.
That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade Saramaritsian pure. Not that cut-rate shit your grandma does. There are those who believe the designer was buried with this quarter key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses. That's what those expeditions are looking for.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull. Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world-famous design studio, was born in Martinez. A local boy, Martin Martinez. That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why they buried him here, too. Perhaps right under Ab's pipe there. Or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can contain that amount of anything.
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum. The gangsters say they want to sell it on the black market. And the ad agency guys say they're seeking inspiration.
Bullshit. They just want to snort it. But you could beat them to it, Harry. You could snort the magic skull cocaine instead.
I'm pretty sure they all just want to snort it, though.
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
Don't listen to him or his grandma. He's just making things up.
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too. That it's underwater. Or no, maybe it was the storm surge.
Or maybe it's in the air. Or in an ancient state pyramid offshore.
In a pyramid? Now that would be something.
They're pretty vague about it in general. The gangsters like to claim they're looking for the grave of a friend, with picks and shovels. The archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. Honestly, I think they're not really scientists, just rich. The junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say they're looking to snort some blow out of a dead man's nasal cavity.
Honest men on an honest quest. You should join them.
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute. Finding it right now is literally impossible.
What?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to search the area behind that lorry, too. Yet, it is impassable. Second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the cocaine skull justice. You need new gear, people who know what they're doing, all kinds of provisions. It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got now. We can't afford to run around chasing after quasi-mythical pieces of drug paraphernalia. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that has the word cocaine writ large on it. The PR is tricky on this.
Wait. Maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast? Don't give up now.
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe someday we'll get our chance. Right. A story. I've never heard it mentioned outside of here.
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds.
All kind.
Wait. There's a tingling back here.
Some of those, the first time...
There's no way. You know.
I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile... Okay, fine. There was this desire...
He existed, all right. I'm talking about...
Anyway...
A paradigm...
But then, something turned. You've got to... Now.
Right. Wrong. Do it all day.
Hey, Tequila. Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. I know, Tequila. I know. But the story doesn't end.
That's almost certainly. And wrong again, nerd.
That's right. 250. There are those who believe...
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull. Here's the kick. That's why he...
No, my grandma...
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can't contain that amount of anything.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What?
For one second, outfitting an... It's just not feasible.
I have to agree. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something.
Wait. Maybe there's another way. Maybe upper...
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you. Who knows, though? Maybe some... Not that I can think of, currently. That might be the case, yes.
A few locusts trudge along the The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of glass. A crack runs across the left. The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex. A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both. Unknown. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. Justice, union, prudence, and force. Ice cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Delorian in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
It's military, a service depot of some sort. The washerwoman mentioned a depot up the coast. She said it was for moving ammo and cargo across the bay.
It may have been used to service an aerostatic battleship in the atmosphere, or a fortification. Just dead and dying locusts.
We're close. True, hard, full, core. Hardcore. Hardcore to the mega. Internally coherent.
All core! All right! Yeah!
He furrows his brow as his very large head traces the sublime, invisible movement of the music in the very real air of the stuffy tent.
Hardcore! Ah! Is it though? But is it? I mean, really? I am the mic enforcer. I am the chicks checker. Yeah!
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with? Our tenant, the policeman. I hope not much. But some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth. On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and an old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Yes?
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
The tracks are as they have ever been, a bit more worn perhaps. Fortunately, the street sweepers an old called East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area.
What do you see?
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, a small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste.
I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal spray. Dramamine is a really good painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising. No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Dramamine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
Saint Baptiste, you know, the pharmaceuticals company. Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals, the one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste. That one. There.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history. As far as almost anyone knows, at least. A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in their wrapping. It's like looking into a kind of heaven. Your knees are weak. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol.
Is this about the questions again? Because
To the left of some croissants and juice bottles. Right to work! Right to... The Greatest Innocence by Joao Pau. Browsing through the book again, you still have trouble understanding the torrent of information. And only you can do it. It'll be worth it. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well. It seems rather oh yeah. This is what I was made for. A pop quiz. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. A pop quiz. Thanks for Dolores Day. Incorrect. Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. A pop quiz is a short examination. Thanks for nothing. Dolores Day. Dolores. Incorrect. Sola resigned after an assassination. Correct. As the first question 2. Who was the strongest? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me. Incorrect. Correct. Franco Negro at question 3. Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information. Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known... No, stop thinking it. I said it was correct. The most final stretch. I've got it. Honest. Correct. Everything and more beautiful. Congratulations. A B. You would have done better if you just dialed the Dolores Day. But endless tries aren't... The note is written with a blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots. The face of King Freecell smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more...
It's you again. What is it?
The lights are so pretty when it gets dark. Oh, kings and queens. I think that's why people read.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
They're all dogs.
Why would they do that, sir? That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything. Standing over a dead body, holding a gun. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminal.
Crime is what we were solving before this conversation began.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? Why is that? Oh, okay. I shouldn't have said that thing about Dick Mullen. More about books, maybe? It's the type of book, or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. Maybe some about other books? My name is Annette, sir. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. School? Well, mine is a big yellow building on Boogie Street, and the people there run it. They say it's a charity.
The gale wind blows in from the coast, a wind of needles. It wraps itself around a building of brick and mortar. Somewhere, a clamour rings through the honeycomb of classrooms. Remorse, the parquet of assembly halls. The rows of stall bars are growing cold. The corridors stand empty. A girl's voice somehow finds its way through this strange feeling. You haven't heard a word of what she's been saying these past few moments. You only hear.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. No, sir, I can't. It would be too tiring to refrain from it. It's already tiring enough to remember to say it all the time. By your command.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salam Rocky Bayi, badass on-the-edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go. Camera. Lights. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. Oh yes, how's my precious doing? She's a good girl, as a young girl should be, with the proper
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense.
I like playing in the dark. Sharpens your nocturnal instincts. Feels like being on recon again. The woman still had no response. Wherever, no response. Wherever, no response. Wherever, no response. No response. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her. An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. Something with great kinetic... Someone shot him in the heart.
Okay, I can't see it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution. But the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement? If we connect every bullet hole in Martinez to the murder, we'll get an overwhelming amount of loose threads. But then again, we don't really know what we are dealing with here, so I've made a note. Don't hold your breath.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay. Someone shot him in the heart. Interesting. The monument stands high above you.
Everything's still cool here, officer. You mean these delete?
No hassle. There's a little of a hassle here, it appears. A moral hassle.
They're very delicious and shelf-stable. You can keep all this out in the sun come summer. Try it. But only the coolest goods in Rebashol. I've got sneakers, speakers, a good joke, officer. Here we don't have permits. Just economic freedom.
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable weather, the sidewalks strewn with sunflower seeds and a dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool.
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders. I am not, however.
My man, officer, you make all this possible. Without you, this climate would be extremely bad for business. You're part of the gossamer state.
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
Yeah, cool ruins. I get to sell quality goods like these by cutting out the middlemen. You don't have to rebuild your house, live in a crater, or in a tree. Where can you do that? Only here.
You're pretty sure you can live in a tree elsewhere too, but he wouldn't believe it anyway.
No need for discounts at ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, 50% off.
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up? Anything for you. Me?
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricots.
Very cool. I like your style, officer.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards.
Yes? Excuse me? Detective, if I may be frank, you seem to be in a deranged state. You have trouble remembering things. You've misplaced your badge. I cannot let you act in the name of the RCM without...
Oh, so you're an unaccountable wreck who has to be supervised? You don't have to take this display of authority. You can disobey.
Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself. Please do.
The lieutenant is pretty sure self-care is just a euphemism for nihilistic binge drinking, is it not? A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, caustic taste on the tip of your tongue as you look at the hands. You dial the number again, calling, 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 calling. And calling for who knows how long, but no one answers. You need to insert more money to call again. You see, a once bright new slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came. Looks like tomorrow never came.
Yes, what is it? I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. Great. The swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks.
Danko.
There's no waking him from
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. What world?
the camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surface.
A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included. Elysium. It does. A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with let's. I am, after all, bourgeois and female. Hardly the perfect ambassador for the world. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
The door is closed again. You hear someone inside, walking from room to room.
Fuck, does Kuno care?
doesn't...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. "10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over. 10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and out."
Looking for something?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? Obviously, I'm a lawyer, a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union. I would urge you to consider what you say to my clients.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
The machine is dead. It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation. Ah, yes. The night before I saw you in the hallway and reminded you you're a police officer. Wow. Elysium. You don't hear that term often. There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I can't say. Probably not. Sounded like you were flying solo. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestrations prime among them.
Oh, that? Yeah. Whoa. The less said about OO, the better.
OO were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course, like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. I don't know about that. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of that time you were yelling along to it. That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself is very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a wounded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. It sounded like someone was trashing their room. A window was smashed, the tape player probably, the song stopped. And furniture too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable. I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it. No problem, sir.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor. Large print. This print, shoe sizes, of course. Damn. The footprints are of one type. The footprints do not speak. The footprints are still there. The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
The speakers below are banged up and worth.
No way, officer! These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi socialist junk. Well, if you want them... But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, where will the sneakers go? I can't leave premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for little extra. 50 cents?
Damn, so you have to buy the sneakers first. The trap is
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes, pissable pilsner. Drink it, then convert it to piss. And there's...
Tequila Sunset.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What? Yes, I guess so. The arcade is an ancient failure, before my time. I'm not surprised, however. My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism, fluorography, trick-track, especially pinball. It can't be true. They don't work. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe. Oh, right. But did this person say anything? Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or...
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Casting the framework in a soft glow, like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. The speaker comes to life.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to. One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Any other questions? Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian Station. I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian Repeater Station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios.
On an island on the river Esperance, a small woman, all skin and bones, sits in a room filled with audio equipment. Thousands of tiny lights are reflected back from her prescription lenses, like stars in the dark.
Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident. Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Nothing happens. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Your flashlight, some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make these light translucent. You should adopt one of those Wilkins as one of the Wilkins, towering among the rest. Appear. It's the hull door. Your eyes glide over the photo collar. Entire you see, albeit dark and cold. A pinned postcard reads, "This is." It looks at so much. Mini-Me stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework. As time goes, looks like they didn't make it. A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, see the prods, the handwriting, the full outside. A cold wind wraps the... This old fire, the whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pesantic. Radio frequencies unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. You think so? Looks like a surveillance program. Whoever decides a list of names under the station, there's no way, nothing. It's just... The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very history classes, students with their textbook, radio frequency, unclear. It looks like, perhaps, looks like a surveillance program. Someone the leader of a massive on-air, a conductor for the hundreds of stories. Whoever decides to call in to a list of names under the station, there's no way, nothing. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. It's dark. The echo is so prominent. It's impossible to discern what the voices are saying. Maybe it's coming from somewhere upstairs. Or maybe you're just hungover again. Could it be psychological? Because this sounded real. It's dark. The echo is so prominent. It's impossible to discern what the voices are saying. Or what's producing them. Maybe, or maybe, could it be psychological? This sounded real. A lush layer of maybe you could still. It's good to have this dirt on you. Real. A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around Martinez. This is an interesting coincidence. Could prove useful in some way. You don't know how yet, but it might be useful down the road. This is a good find. Really justifies coming down here and looking around. Inside, a secret room infested with rats. Seems like an old weapons cache from the...
Hey, was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. I love those. Yes?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. A lorry stuck in the traffic. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. The driver, a large man. It is a seal of royalist. The back end of a book with ragged edges catches your nose. The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays. No response wherever this woman is.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. Nope. Don't. Some of the other drivers do, though.
Yup. Nothing wrong with.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3. It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up. They want to keep that money flowing in, man.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Us lorry drivers. Not my thing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasure?
Oh.
Time to relax. He's merely joking.
Ha! No, I'm joking. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occidents. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely...
There's no denying it. Your body needs to feel the touch of some good performance. The man taps his fingers. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding.
Hello again. How can I help you?
The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset. before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. No reply. The knock produces a hollow ring of metal. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be
Mister, I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting, just like we talked about before. I know you're probably a busy man being an important police officer and all, and person.
Mr. Dubois, every worker for himself, right? What can I do for you today? I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. So, what's on your mind? Harry! Well, let's just say that you were there, you saw the place, reset. I have big plans for my... Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. I accept your salute, Harry. All of it is true. I've got the centre, I've got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years I'll get the church too. The wheels are turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
The pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that. And then there will be a giant statue of him towering above it all.
Oh, I do, Harry.
A true flash of anger in him as he thinks of her.
Very nice, Harry. Is there anything else?
Promising race pupil returns.
The stage is all set up.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like... Does someone feel like throwing up? I do. A little. The bar is full and buzzing with chatter. No one is paying you any attention. but still you feel your knees turn to noodles. You're sweating.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down, bastards.